sailor, what shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor early in the morning?
I'm Paul Bennett. It's in Milbridge, Maine, right on the Bold Coast, not very far from the U.S.-Canadian border. I think it's time to go sailing. I have a need, my soul needs it. Well, many of you are not aware that I'm a retired marine engineer and naval architect. And over the years I've designed a lot of different types of boats, and even big ships. But I'm partial to sailboats. I've always been a ragbagger. And when I lived on Cape Cod, I had a wooden boat shop. I had designed and built sailboats. I've owned other sailboats that were built by other people. They came and they went. But then we moved to Maine, and I no longer had the boat shop. And for the past 15 years I've been landlocked. But I have a serious need to get back to sea. I've been watching a number of videos of young people, young millennials, couples that have been fixing up old sailboats and putting to sea and hanging out in the Bahamas and down in the Caribbean. And I'll tell you, something struck a chord, and I said, you know, I don't necessarily need to be down there, but I need to be back on the water. So I went and I took a look at a boat. I'll show you a couple of pictures just shortly. This was a 26-foot boat, a Bristol 26 sail star that was designed by Halsey Hershoff years ago. Bristol made a number of these between 1968 and 1978. It was Clinton Pearson that pretty much headed the company. I'm familiar with this particular boat. It's a sloop, and it's for a 26-footer. It's very big, has a lot of spacious, room, and it sails well. Had a good reputation. Back then, everything was hand-laid fiberglass. They used more fiberglass than was necessary, so it's a very solid hull, very well built. Only one problem is that while most of them had lead inserts in the keel, and it's a fin keel, it's a coastal cruising boat. It's not really blue water capable, although you could make it blue water capable if you put a lot of work into it. But there were a few of them when times were tough and the company found money scarce. Clinton Pearson got in trouble with the IRS, that in order to fill the orders that came in for this boat, instead of using the lead inserts, which were very expensive, he poured a bunch of concrete and scrap steel in the ballast keel. Concrete and scrap steel is okay for a ballast keel if it's on the outside and not encapsulated inside the fiberglass, which is part of the whole hull. Because when it gets a little water in it and the steel rust, it starts to expand, it can actually split that fiberglass. You can split the hull open, and I guess it happened to a couple of them. But there aren't that many of them. So I went to look at this boat, and that was the first thing I looked at, because this boat was being given away for free. And so, hey, free. The mast, the spars, they're all in very good shape, the rigging. So I went and took a look, and I looked down at pulled up a floorboard, and sure enough, it's the concrete and scrap steel ballast keel. So that in itself, I passed on it, even though it was being given away. It did need a lot of work, but I'm certainly capable of it. I have all the tools, the equipment, the knowledge, and the experience, and I have a lot of leftover inventory from my boat shop. I still have in storage, so I have all kinds of stuff. I have spare compasses, I have all kinds of hardware. I mean, just have everything I need. But I did pass on it. So what do? I start looking at other boats. I'm retired now. I don't have a whole lot of money to spend. So I thought, well, I can come up with a new design. The more I thought about it, the more boats I looked at, it didn't really fit the bill of what I wanted. So I'll just design what it is I want. It'll reflect the size of the boat that I can build with what I have available. I can use a lot of scrap materials. It won't be all solid wood. I'm not a purist. I'm not going to build traditionally. It'll be more of a hybrid, but it'll be largely wood construction. I think it's going to be fairly heavy, blue water capable. That gives you a lot of confidence when the weather blows up and you're out there, even if you're not going that far offshore. It'll be a very small boat. It's not going to be very large because my wife is essentially a landlubber. She does not want to live on board a boat. She doesn't want to go cruising. She'll come on board the boat when it's at the marina tied up at the dock and enjoy a cocktail, but she really doesn't want to go to sea. That was determined when we first got married back on Cape Cod. And so this is just going to be for myself because I need to get back out to sea. I need to go sailing. My soul needs it. So that's where we're at. What I'm proposing here is to start doing a series of videos on this whole project. First of all, designing the boat, and then I'll go through building the boat step by step. If you'd like to take part, I'd love to have you comment. Send me your suggestions. I may not use them. I have the final veto power, but you may come up with an interesting comment or suggestion that I didn't think of, and I might be a cool thing to integrate into the boat. So this is what I'm thinking. This is on my mind. I wanted to put it out for this week's video. I'd like to hear what everybody thinks. I love hearing your feedback. And so, yeah, this old salt needs to get back to sea. Maybe you can help me get there. A little bit of encouragement, a little inspiration, a little advice. Love to hear it all. And hey, I'm an old fart. I'm not going to live forever, so if I'm going to do it, I got to start doing it now. So, thanks for watching. I hope I hear from you. Stay tuned.
What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor?